Hello and welcome to Music Shack Podcast. This is episode number 40. This week you're joined by myself, Bruce.
Ron.
And Ed.
Alright. Let's take a look at the Billboard and see what's going on.
Ed, why don't we start with you?
Oh.
Artist chart?
Yeah, start with the artist.
This is the Billboard artist chart. Number 1 is Taylor Swift. Number 2 is DMX. May he rest in peace. Number 3 is Ariana Grande. Number 4 is Justin Bieber. Number 5 is The Weeknd. Number 6 is Polo G. Number 7 is Drake. Number 8 is Luke Combs. Number 9 is Dua Lipa. And number 10 is Rod Wave.
All right. You will never say his name right. You will never say his name right. That's just a thing now.
I have, yeah. All right.
You will never say that name right.
I was wondering what you guys were laughing about, and I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna break it. I'm just gonna
keep going. Roll it.
Keep the flow on. Now the flow's ruined. Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome.
And or Bruce.
I'm sorry. But looking at the Billboard Hot 100 list, we've got new entry at number 1, Rap Star by Polo G. At 2, we've got Montero by Lil Nas X. At 3, we've got Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic. At 4, we've got Peaches by Justin Bieber. At 5, we've got Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. At 6, we've got Levitating by Dua Lipa. At number 7, we've got Kiss Me More by Doja Cat. At 8, we've got Up by Cardi B. At 9, we've got Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. And at number 10, we've got Astronaut in the Ocean by Masked Wolf.
All right. So that brings us to our Billboard Top 200 chart. And looking at our top 10 off of this, we have a new entry at number 1 with Taylor Swift, with Fearless, Taylor's version. So I guess she came out with another version of it after the whole, I guess, what was it, copyright debacle thing?
I know her masters got sold, and I think that's what...
Okay, so that's probably what this is.
That was my bad.
That's probably what this is like her own, I guess, mix or her own edit version of it, so she has the rights to it now. I assume.
Yeah.
Up to number 2 is DMX with The Best of DMX, which I think we knew was coming.
Yeah.
Especially after what happened. But it's good to see.
Oh, yeah. It's really good to see that people are going back and listening to his music.
And it knocked Justin Bieber down to number 3 with Justice. Staying at number 4 is Morgan Wallen with Dangerous Double Album. Down to number 5 is Rod Wave with Soulfly. Up to number 6 is Ariana Grande with Positions. Down to 7 is The Weeknd with The Highlights. Down to number 8 is Lil TJ with Destined to Win. Down to number 9 is Pop Smoke with Shoot for a Stars, Aim for the Moon. And down to number 10 is Dua Lipa with Future Nostalgia. And that will be our billboards for the week.
Yeah.
A lot of people shifting downward.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of downward shifts.
Which is not normal from what we've seen.
Nah.
It's usually a lot of like mainstays, like a couple risers and then some new. But this is like predominantly people just going down on it now. It's weird.
It's going to be interesting when things open back up again. Because I don't know if you guys remember, we were doing this podcast before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
We would see like new arrivals.
Like
every week.
Yeah, every week
at number 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, like our top 10 was filled with a lot of new stuff. It was cool.
And with COVID, everybody's just been listening to pretty much the same stuff. But
this is looking to be a strong year. So
yeah.
So I'm very excited.
At least as far as metal's concerned.
This is true, actually.
Metal's, jeez.
The metal genre is just popping off every week. There's always at least one good set of songs, but there are so many good drops just in general coming out, and then upcoming too. Like there's a lot of big names dropping stuff. There's talks of people doing things that haven't done anything in years. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Quarantine has been good for these people in terms of material.
Music material. But yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's it's only April, and like I said, our end of the year top 10 list is going to be hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like last year's was pretty easy to look at and say, okay, here's definitely the tops of what dropped last year. This year, I'm like, I mean, we were talking before the show. I had a problem with a top 3.
Right. We had a problem ranking our top 3, and it's only April.
Yeah.
Like, it's just nuts. And I mean, shows are going to open back up this summer, come in fall. We have the Hella Mega Tour coming back up, which if Bruce doesn't go with me, I'm finding someone to go. If you want to go, let me know, because that's Green Day, Weezer, Fall Out Boy. I'm going to have to take somebody. I have an extra ticket.
Gotcha.
Oh, I will be going. Don't you worry.
Because I think that's the 20th of August. So yeah, no, things are starting to open back up later this year, and I'm very, very excited. Which I have news about concerts later,
Same.
which is interesting to hear, and it's exciting to hear.
It is exciting to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're still on topic of rock and metal, why don't we go into our featured stuff this week, because it's predominantly the two.
Very predominant.
All right. Where are we going?
I guess we can start with the most tame of the three, so that would be Bruce's.
So. Yeah.
All right.
So I brought along.
It's weird to call Offspring tame.
Compared to what ours are, it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's...
Oh yeah, no, but like compared to what our records hold.
We've got Let the Bad Times Roll by The Offspring. A 12-track album.
It's a good 12-track
It's a
album.
very good 12-track. 12-track album.
I mentioned this before. It's like, to me, they just didn't age well with what they put out, and it's good, but it's just, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
something weird about it. But it's definitely a good set list.
Yeah.
I like. It's cool to see they're still making music. It's been a little while since they have, I think.
I mean, some of my favorites off of it are This Is Not Utopia, which is an amazing opener for it.
Right.
We Never Have Sex Anymore.
Which I think is just my favorite one on the whole
which
record.
is crazy to go through. And then they did a lovely cover of Gone Away.
Yeah.
Or
Not a cover,
Well,
it's
I always
different
forget-
rendition, because
I
they
always-
did it initially.
yeah, I always forget how to call it when the people did it originally.
Just
a
another
rendition.
rendition of
Just
it.
another,
Yeah.
They did another rendition.
Yeah, now it's more of an acoustic feel, which is,
Mm-hmm.
ironically, it's funny, because Five Finger Death Punch did an acoustic cover. And now the original writers come out with an acoustic version. And they sound pretty much the same, minus the piano.
Yeah.
But it's still really cool, and I love all three versions. It's a good song. But yeah, no, it's only 30 minutes. It's a very short record in terms of length, but like the quality's there. Because they haven't done one since 2012, which was Days Go By. That was the last album they did before this one.
Mm-hmm.
So to see a 9-year jump is quite interesting. But
yeah, I did like Opioid Diaries.
That
off
was a
this
good one.
album. How
Mhm.
it sits there and it sheds a light on, what's going on with the opioid
the crisis that we
epidemic.
still have,
Yeah,
and I think it's only getting worse for the most part
well,
in
yeah.
some places. Like it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I went to school with plenty of people that aren't with us anymore because of opioids. I mean, it's not exactly an opioid that put them down, but
No, but it led to it.
it led to it, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely an eye opener of a track.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I appreciated,
Right. Yeah, I don't think I have any really any other standouts other than the Gone Away rendition, the Opioid Diaries, and the opening track. This Is Not Utopia. I mean, Let the Bad Times Roll. It's good, but I don't know. I feel like I think that was the lead single they came out with too.
yeah,
I feel like that was a little weak for a lead single. But yeah, I can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I guess we can move on to what I brought you guys,
Yes.
which is the new Escape the Fate record, which is Chemical Warfare. And it's a bunch of anthems. It's all it is, and
amazing.
I love every second of it.
If you're a Hollywood producer and you can't find a song to shoot a trailer for your upcoming action movie, you probably shouldn't be, in that space, because this album has it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because Invincible is actually used for a movie
When
on the
I was
It's coming
soundtrack.
up, yeah.
When I was listening to Invincible, I was like, bro, I could see this for some form of stupid superhero movie trailer or some shit.
Yeah, no, this is actually gonna be in a movie as part of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Do you know what movie, Bruce? Because I don't off the top of my
I
head.
can't remember.
Okay, but yeah, no. So it's funny you say that.
That I did not know.
Yeah. Lightning Strike is such a hell of an opener.
Yeah.
And it's so short. It's like, I think it's just under 3 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. It's like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I don't know. It's such a good amp track. And then it rides into Invincible, and it's it's somber. It sobers up a little bit. It gets a little bit chill off of that. But it's good. And then you have Unbreakable, and you have the title track. And it goes into Erase You, Not My Problem, Burn the Bridges, Demons, Hand Grenade, Ashes, and My Gravity, and Walk On.
Which Demons is the only track on this album that I had anything negative to say about.
Right.
And it's just, they lead up to a guitar solo, but dude doesn't stop singing while the guy's doing all the guitar, all the shredding. And I'm like,
Yeah, it definitely feels a little forced, but it works.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just
Mm-hmm.
It's my only problem with the entire album. It's just that one song with that one little piece.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's a solid album.
it's a very good one. I think that's going to be up in my top 10.
It's going to be up there
somewhere.
for sure. And the movie that the song is going to be part of the soundtrack for is The Retaliators.
Oh, okay, now I'm even more excited.
Okay.
Now, because The Retaliators is Five Finger Death Punch's movie.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Oh, shit.
that's their movie.
Oh, shit, then.
So they're getting a lot of big name bands to do songs for the movie. Like From Ashes to New has scars that I'm hiding in that.
Mm.
So I think it's a horror flick in a way. So, and I don't watch horror movies, but I might just watch this one just because it's Five Finger Death Punch and there's a lot of big name groups in it for soundtrack. So I'm very excited.
I think that's the way Hollywood's going, though. What is it? I know, with the Black Panther soundtrack, they drew out everybody. It's the last time anyone's heard, a song with Kendrick Lamar on it.
Right. I just think it's cool. A lot of these movies are bringing up big name people to come say, "Hey, we want your song in our movie."
Yeah, movie soundtracks are actually worth listening to now because they're bringing in proper artists. Not like they weren't before.
They weren't doing it beforehand, but now they're bringing some really good ones in that everybody knows, and it's oh, there's some good stuff here.
Yeah, before they're
they're bringing in some heavy hitters, and it's very cool. I think there's for Five Fingers movie, I think there's actually a list of who's going to be on the soundtrack, and I don't remember.
I'll look it up right now.
That's what I'm doing as well.
Gotcha.
But while we're doing that, we can actually move on to Ed's record.
Yes.
I was not expecting from him.
Well, you wouldn't expect me to recommend While She Sleeps.
Well, based on what had come out last week, I did not expect you to bring this one.
There's a lot that came out.
Yeah.
Incredible amount that came out, but to me this was the best. Yeah, so
Bad Wolves is also on the soundtrack, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I've actually just seen that they also have The Who.
Ooh, that'll be good. Anyway.
yes. So yeah, While She Sleeps dropped a Sleep Society fucking fantastic metal album. I love the entire setup, even though it's not completely metal the whole way through. The ending, I could have done with a little less gain on his voice. I appreciated what he was doing.
Right.
But
yeah, no, it was kind of hard to like make out what they were saying at times.
Yeah, you got the accent along with the gain, and you're like,
yeah, it's a little difficult.
But I like the way that they used elements of other forms of music.
Mm-hmm.
Like they, what is it? I believe it's Systematic. It starts off with a acid house synth lead, right?
Systematic? I think so.
Yeah, and dude sits there and he comes in with rhythmic spoken word, other known as rap, and but it works for what he's doing. Like it works for the track. And I wasn't expecting either one of those elements. Mm-hmm. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, they did a very good job of blending a lot of different styles to make this sound.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned this to Anna before you guys even got here. Know Your Worth and No Defeat for the Brave have two specific riffs that I love. They're my favorite parts of the songs. And it's right before the breakdowns like actually like fully hit. It's so hardcore-esque. It's rhythmic, it's groovy, and they only do it for like a couple seconds, but it's so good. And I don't know. They make those songs in a way, and they're good songs like in their own right in every aspect. But like those two riffs are just fantastic.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more stuff like that. I also just like hardcore metal, where it's just like it's very basic and stripped, and it just punches you. Yeah. I like that.
Well, I mean, they also use cleans as well.
Oh yeah,
screams. It just seems well calculated and well put together.
Yeah, it's very well like thought out, and like everything has where everything is placed with the meaning and has a purpose,
and it works.
Mm-hmm.
It gets the meaning across, and
it's not overcrowded.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not over-engineered. It's really just well put together and well structured.
Yeah.
So, and then we had what is it? PYAI?
Yeah, that very soft, subtle
like
track.
Less than 2-minute thing.
Yeah. Division Street, which was great.
Yes.
It was a clusterfuck to listen to, but great.
And then the title track. Sleeps Society.
Yes.
Like
that was great.
I think it's my favorite song off the record, and then I think Know Your Worth and No Defeat for the Brave are like right behind it.
I thought Call the Void was good too.
Call the Void was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's only 11 songs.
Well, actually, it's 10 songs.
Technically.
The last part is just him speaking about how grateful he is for the
I think
fans.
it's all of them actually.
Oh.
Because I did recognize like different tonalities and voices, so I think it's like all of them talking about their what they're like grateful for, and like that what their views and everything is. It's really really cool. Like I said, I told you, I almost like shed a couple tears on this one. I was going into work and this played before I went in, and I was like, it's hard to listen to with some of the things I talk about. So, but yeah, no, like I banger all the way through. Absolute banger.
Want to get into what else dropped this week? Because I got at least 3 albums I wish to speak on.
I have a single.
All right.
Which is the new George Reagan single, which is All Gone.
All right.
I didn't give it to you guys just because I know how the reception went between you two with the last one. But I personally, I think it's great. I'm still excited for this record. There's with the two different polarizing genres in a sense with these tracks. I'm very curious what else he has, cooked up for this, because the dude goes all over the place. So, yeah.
All right.
And Fear Factory, I don't know when it dropped, but Fear Factory has a new song called Disruptor off of their upcoming record coming out at the end of the month.
Cool.
And August Burns Red also came out with a Guardians Sessions EP, which is where all of those extra songs came from.
Okay.
So that's why those extra songs exist.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
I got nothing.
Okay.
All right, and what you got?
So I got Conway the Machines, La Maquina. Just probably the best hip hop album I've heard this year.
Really?
Yeah, like it's mainly in the styling of boom bap, but just fucking loved it.
I want to see that come back.
Yeah, KD's probably one of my favorites off of it. Blood Roses. One of the ones that shocked me because of how much the styling of the beats is boom bap throughout the entire album. Scatterbrain.
Really?
Is mainly a trap beat, which makes sense when you see that JID's on there, because that's generally the type of beats that JID raps over, but not so much when you see Ludacris is on there.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Who shocked me with his verse, because I went in not expecting much from Luda, because the guy's, in movies and shit now, so I wasn't expecting a good verse from him.
Lo and behold, dropped a gem.
Yes. I was like, wow.
That's cool.
But yeah, the whole album's great. It's 11 songs, 40 minutes of proper rap. And another one I wanted to talk about was 2 Feet's Max Mako is Dead, right?
I love that title.
Yeah.
Just such a question.
Right?
Flatline's one of my favorites off this. This one is Can't See At All, Nightmares, and Fire. But the whole thing is just a very chill alternative album.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's what you guys almost got.
It's like now you have me interested.
Ooh.
So yeah. And finally, it's gonna give me a second here.
It's all the sleep society you can't think.
Yes, that's what's going on. That's why the processor's running slow. Yellow Wolf and DJ Paul dropped Slim Mafia, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought Trans Am was good. What is it? Don't Need a Cup. They had a song featuring Don't Play.
I hate that Apple doesn't give you the full
Yeah, I know.
track name.
So now I gotta wait for it to do the cycle thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say her name wrong.
Which is also very slow, by the way.
Very slow.
I hate it. Especially when you get like early 2000s Panic and Fall Out Boy coming on, and it's just these super long song names. It's like, I
can't imagine how much fun you had with Rob Zombie's latest album.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh my
too.
god. Well, we had that. Remember, I was trying to talk about a song, and I was just trying to get the name out, and it just didn't work. So the name of the song is Slum Mafia. It features Gangsta Boo, Seed of Six, Bray, and Big Henry.
Okay.
What shocked me, I haven't heard anything featuring Gangsta Boo for a while. She's a down south rapper, did a lot of work with Juicy J in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I haven't heard anything with her on it. So since
That's really pulling from the box.
yeah, the only time I ever hear her is when I'm like going through like Juicy J's older shit or DJ Paul's older shit. Like that's the only time I hear anything by her. Another good songs off the album is Super Geek, and personally, one of my favorites off this album is Headbanger, featuring Pretty Shy and Kasky, which fucking lyrically I think is the best song on the album.
Okay.
But that's my spiel. We can move on. I give you permission.
Oh, okay. Where do you want to go? We can go into...
Where do we go from here?
Isn't that a song somewhere?
Yes,
Maybe?
it is a song.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But the real question is, if it is a song, what is the most important instrument of that song?
We're stealing this idea, by the way.
From none other than Nick Nocturnal. Thank you for the idea.
Yeah, he put a poll up on Twitter, like, what was it, like a week ago, whatever?
Yeah.
Where he said, what's the most important instrument of a band? Guitar, bass, vocals, drums, or the automaton?
It's always going to be the automaton.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I've always heard this, so it's, I mean, the bass. The bass is usually a backbone as to where you're going to, like, in terms of like what your frequency and your beat is, basically. But you always have drums as a good backbone in terms of like, your rhythm and your timing.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends, I think, on how the song is structured.
It also depends on what genre you're going for, because certain genres, the vocals are the most important thing. Like if you look at opera, the vocals are the only thing you really are focusing on. And then you go to dubstep, and you've only got drums and what other noises they make.
Bass in the higher registers, while in the lower registers.
And they overlap.
Yes.
A lot of kicks.
Yes.
That do the same thing. But, yeah, I think you're just like talking straight up rock and roll, metal in any capacity. I think it's mainly your drums and your bass that hold your backbone.
Yeah, they'll give you the best backbone, and then you have the front runner with the guitar that brings everything together.
Right, and it's more or less rhythm guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You have, because a lot of these bands have two guitarists. They'll have a lead and they'll have a rhythm. And while they'll play generally the same riffs and overlap at certain parts, it's more or less your rhythm that keeps you centered in like where you're at. Because the lead can go off and do crazy leads, or or some sort of a solo. So, but your rhythm pretty much keeps you in line as to where you're going next, and where you're at in the song. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But and then vocals too. Kind of like they're almost a cue as to where you need to be for each part. Because vocals are all about emotion, and that either comes from the way the lyrics are said.
And they change the tonality of the song very greatly.
Right, and even in terms of some of the lyrics themselves, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, I need to be here doing this thing." So, I don't think there's like a clear, distinctive, most important piece. I think it just depends on what style you're going for, and more or less what. Just in general, I think everything holds a good value to it, which is why a lot of these groups are, the mixing's done, meticulously, and you have these really good masterpieces that come out from time to time. It's just, there's so much going to it.
It's so hard to say which one instrument out of a band of 5 is the most important when they all are made to work together so well and mesh perfectly to create the final piece.
Right, and you can have standouts, don't get me wrong. You can definitely have fucking standouts. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's a clear distinctive, I don't think there's a clear-cut answer to that question. It's like, which one is a clear most important?
So the way I interpreted the question was just music in general, which is the most important instrument. And as the proud owner of 3 guitars and 1 bass
and a MIDI keyboard
and a few decks, anyway, and the microphones that we're recording this on,
yes.
I'd have to say the drums.
Really?
Yeah, because, all right, so when you're doing the guitar, you're supposed to follow the drum. The drum sets the tempo. The drum gives you the cues on when the lead guitar can break off and do his thing. So, for me, I got to say it's the drums.
Okay.
Because most genres of music start and end with the drums.
I can see that. I think you and I talked about this before once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, it's like I said, it's a joint effort. But I mean, there are times you can definitely find a standout.
Oh yeah.
But like a good example is with Termina. A lot of the standouts are Nick's guitar and Andy's vocals.
Well, that's because the only members of the band is the vocalist and the guitarist.
Well, yeah. you want to get technical, Nick's keyboard's in there. Or, not his keyboard, but his computer. But yeah, I mean, they had a bias because they were focusing on just them.
Yeah.
And everything else was digitally tracked. But still, I mean, it's still there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, even in like...
Alright, I guess we can jump into shit we've been fucking with after that.
A lot of While She Sleeps.
Okay.
I've been listening to all 3 albums pretty much nonstop.
Yeah, it's been Escape the Fate, While She Sleeps, a little bit of Simple Plan, actually. I was in the mood.
Okay.
A little bit of Yellow Card with Breathing and Ocean Avenue, because like those are the 2 standouts that they have. That's kind of where I've been at. A little bit of Emotionless and White, going back there. Went to I Prevail with Trauma. Good times.
I've been listening to a lot of just covers of songs. Like I've gone back to the Melodica Brothers.
They're still really
as
good.
You've heard. Just so many of the songs they've done are just so well done.
They do really good covers. They do odd covers too. Like they jump genres with the songs they choose.
I do enjoy the fact that they jump covers. What genres?
Yeah.
I mean, they do jump covers.
Yeah.
Because it's always nice to be able to go on YouTube. It's like, oh yeah, if I want rock covers, I can go to this guy. If I want this cover, I can go to that guy. But it's like, what kind of interesting hellscape am I getting myself into with these guys?
Exactly. That's pretty much what they are.
Which I have to say, it's very interesting when they started doing like the cyberpunk remixes at first. Everyone was like, it's whatever, it's weird. But I've come to love them so much just because of the way they make them now.
Mm-hmm.
They just fit so well with each other.
But yeah, it's not. Like I said, I've been just on repeat While She Sleeps, Escape the Fate. They're such good albums. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I've been playing.
Yeah, I've had While She Sleeps and Conway on repeat.
That's how you know there's like just good material.
Yeah.
When you have the newest thing on repeat the entire time.
I know I was listening to other than newer stuff last night. Just can't remember any of it.
Gee, I wonder why.
Shut the fuck up, Ron. Happy National Drug Test Day, 4/21. Anyway. Fuck, where was I?
I don't know.
I did wind up listening to some Bring Me the Horizon today.
Which album?
This is where it gets funny. Post-Human Survival.
I was playing that the other day too.
Really?
Yeah, I was on my way home from work.
It just for whatever reason, it just felt like what I needed to hear.
But after going through it again, Ludens does fit well with the rest of it, and it does improve.
I don't get how Ludens somehow sounds better.
It sounds better with
it
the rest
like
of the record.
Shit when it came out.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? This is a micro mixtape. And like now I'm like, yeah,
Now
this isn't bad.
it aged better with the rest of the record.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Crazy.
Like when you listen to Ludens with the rest of the album, it sounds
It
better.
fits. It has a place for it.
Yeah.
And then but when you listen to it on its own, it's like, what is this? What the fuck is going on? And it's still weird in the transition it's because it still jumps all over the
Oh,
place.
yeah, it's still a micro mixtape, yeah.
But it makes the rest of it makes it make sense with the rest of it around it. And I don't know. It's just odd. Because even like Parasite Eve, which is good on its own, fits really well, and it makes Ludens sound, you know, like it makes sense.
And Teardrops.
And I love
It's
Teardrops.
still
God,
my
It's still-
standout
I
from
still
that
think,
album.
I think that's the best one on there.
I think so,
for
yeah.
me. When the Butterflies in it is also really good, but
Yeah, I got a really weird feeling. I was like, you know what? Let me go back and listen to this album because I don't I remember feeling okay about it, but I don't remember if I liked it or not. So I listened to it.
it's still a banger.
Okay, this is a good album.
Still good.
Yep. Well, I guess we can move on to some news.
We
Where
could,
do
I-
we go? Upcomings.
We did miss a single that I brought up before the pod.
Did we?
Do you want to talk about that?
Oh.
I thought about it, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk
Do
about
we
it.
want to bring that one up?
You bet your ass I want to talk about it.
Okay, so Wednesday the 13th dropped Bruce's new favorite song called
You're expecting me to remember the name already?
Your Mother Still Sucks Cock in Hell.
Oh.
And it's just that. That is the song.
But it's fucking hilarious.
It's great.
amazing.
It's fantastic.
It flows so goddamn well from the start to the end.
Yeah, it's like if you've had a frustrating day and you just need to laugh, play that.
I'm
You
gonna,
don't even have to like the genre. Just play that.
I'm gonna play this for my coworkers tomorrow.
Oh God.
It's probably gonna wind up on your hell playlist.
Oh, I've already.
Oh
put it
yeah,
on
that's a good point.
It's going on there.
You're gonna go from Sabaton to that and be like, what is this?
So
It jumps all over the place already.
for the listeners that don't know, Bruce likes to fuck with his coworkers, so he has an entire playlist that's based on just
Songs about hell or
Yes.
that reference hell in some capacity.
yes. I mean, I think I recommended a song from the Pogues
You did.
for you to put on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's a weird playlist.
yeah,
There's so many things on it.
yeah. Coke-Colin, I think his name of the song.
I think it was.
So.
When you're sipping on Coke-Colin.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So yeah, we can go into news or we can go into upcomings. Which other one? We're gonna hit both, but
let's
Where do we
go
go
into
first?
news first.
news?
Yeah.
News.
I'll
Okay.
say I pulled up the list of the musicians for the movie.
Papa Roach is in there, Molly
Yeah,
Cruz in
we
there.
got Five
Tommy
Finger
Lee's
Death
in there.
Punch based on just from the Wikipedia page and what's officially listed. I've got Five Finger Death Punch, Papa Roach, The Who, Escape the Fate, From Ashes to New, Corey Marks, Bad Wolves, Eva Under Fire, Tommy Lee, and Ice Nine Kills.
Eva Under Fire, I forgot they were on there. And the Who that we're talking about is spelled HU, so it's the Mongolian
Yes.
group. For anybody who's confused. Yeah, that's gonna be a very good soundtrack. Even if the movie ends up sucking.
It doesn't seem like it's going to.
No, it seems like it's gonna be pretty good. But like, the soundtrack itself is gonna be just phenomenal. But
And Jacoby Shaddix of Papa Roach will be starring as Quinn Brady
yep,
in the film.
yep. And From Ashes to New are playing themselves. But the news that I have is, well, before I bring up the things that I have more details about, Mudvayne is reuniting for a tour that's happening this summer.
oh, I remember seeing something about that shit.
Which is, it's been 12 years for anybody who's been counting.
I was going to say, that name sounds very familiar.
What?
Dig,
Happy?
LD40, that album, or LD50, that whole album, like, that's their debut record.
They had a song called, I think, Cold World.
We need to jog this man's memory.
Like how? So I now know what we're listening to during the breakdown.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, their return has always been up in the air since they went on hiatus in 2010. But they're finally getting back together to do a reunion. I don't know that they're going to release new music because they didn't say. They didn't say they weren't either. But they are at least returning for this set of shows for a tour, basically, as a reunion, which is amazing. So that's cool. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near us, unfortunately. But it's happening. And now people are speculating, you know, if it's successful and they decide to come back with music, or they decide to continue touring as a group, they want people want to see them and Slipknot come together for a show. Which, like, the two of the biggest names in nu metal would be insane. And speaking of Slipknot, leads to my other news. We now know how Joey Jordison ended up leaving Slipknot. 'Cause he was a founding member, pretty much, for the group. Back in, I think, 98, when they first, or 96 when they first formed. And he was with the group up until 2014-ish, 2010, 2014-ish, I think it is. And he ended up leaving the group, and no one knew why. No one knew if it was whether he had quit or if he was fired. He'd come out and said that he did not voluntarily quit at one point in 2014. They then
Is
later
it because he refused to bleed into the glitter stone?
No.
Did he refuse to push his fingers into his eyes?
No. What ended up being the problem is that he developed a disease that it was like a neural disorder.
Oh.
Where he was having trouble with strength in his arms and his legs to play. And they fired him because of that. But they fired him via email,
That's weird.
which is very shitty.
Very shitty, yeah.
So we now know why that how that whole thing happened, and we got the drummer we have now, who is phenomenal, by the way. I can't remember the dude's name off the top of my head, which is almost sacrilege.
I feel bad for making the jokes because I didn't know it was due to health reasons.
Yeah, but he did come out and say in like 2018 that he would be down to do another show with them.
Yeah.
At the very least. We don't think no one thinks it's gonna happen, but yeah, I mean, now we know why the dude ended up having to leave. So it's a weird thing how that came about now. But yeah, I mean that's all I have.
Okay. So this is something that kind of is like a dual interest of ours. It involves cars.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Eddie Van Halen's 1934 Ford is up for sale.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There's a picture of it.
Damn.
Like, it is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's more feasible money than I can ever have. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna go for millions.
That's more than I could ever dream of.
The starting bid is for $100,000. That's the starting bid. It's going up for auction.
That's gonna hit $1 million quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, that's sacrilege. If it doesn't, I expect it to though. I mean, it's Van Halen. Someone's gonna want the car just because it's Van Halen's car, let alone it being a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people pay a ton for classic cars.
I mean, shit, that should be in a museum somewhere.
It really should be.
I imagine a lot of museums are probably going to be auctioning
Oh,
for
probably.
it
Yeah,
just because
they're
they
probably
want it.
Or
Bidding
someone's gonna get it and then put it in a museum.
Yeah. Which happens with a lot of guitars that belong to
Mm-hmm.
legendary guitarists.
Yep.
Is they get bidded on and then donated to museums or purchased by museums.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's really cool though.
yeah. Apparently, Rob Zombie is rebooting the Munsters.
Oh.
Oh?
Yeah, it's rumored to be a Peacock exclusive.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can't be too surprised because it's Rob Zombie.
Yeah, it's Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
And Rob Zombie
Zombie.
will do as Rob Zombie pleases.
It's Rob Zombie. That's the only explanation you need. That'll be cool though. His weird. I don't wonder if he's gonna put a weird spin on it like he normally does with things, or if he's just gonna do like a faithful reboot in a way.
Rob Zombie. I expect him to do something weird with it,
But it's the Munsters.
but Rob Zombie.
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna do that weird. I mean, he'll put something on it to make it so you know it's his version, but I don't know if he's gonna do anything drastic to it. I don't think anyway.
Gotcha.
It'd be definitely interesting to find out when that happens, or as it develops. We can always find something.
So on the topic that we've been bouncing off and on of this entire podcast, Rolling Loud Miami 2021 has been announced.
Ooh.
Headlining acts are going to be Travis Scott, Post Malone, A$AP Rocky. Supposed to also have Meg Thee Stallion, Bobby Shmurda, Young Thug, and Lil Uzi Vert as well. It's scheduled for July 23rd to July 25th at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hmm.
And
That's pretty neat.
yeah. Yeah, A$AP Rocky is the headlining act for Friday, Travis Scott for Saturday, and Post Malone for Sunday.
Cool.
Damn, Sunday's stacked though. They got Lil Uzi Vert, the Baby, Meg Thee Stallion.
A lot of the
Suicide
good names.
Boys are gonna be there.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
T-Pain's supposed to be there. That's a name I haven't seen for a while. Fabio Foreign. Yeah, a lot of... It's a pretty stacked card. Holy shit. God damn. Anyway, yeah. They're going to have everybody there. If you're interested in hip-hop, you'll probably find your favorite artist at that. Yeah, Lil Baby's supposed to be there as well. It's fucking crazy.
Cool.
All right. I guess upcoming? Unless
yeah. I think so. So, yeah, moving on to our upcoming releases for slated for the 23rd. Some of them may not be.
it happens.
Mhm.
It does happen. I have one on here that I'm probably going to play and just to listen to it just because of the names.
The names.
So I guess I'll start. But we have Capra for April 23rd. We have Capra dropping In Transmission.
Okay.
We have Skindred dropping Roots Rock Riot re-release. And we have Bongzilla dropping Weedsconsin.
I feel like that should have dropped on...
That should have dropped the 20th.
Yes.
That's a misplay.
Yes. Along with, Snoop Dogg's.
But it's dropping the same week, so I guess it counts.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
But I'm probably gonna go through that just because it's the names.
Mhm.
I've heard Bongzilla before, and they have some interesting things.
I mean,
so,
I know where they get their inspiration from.
yeah,
And that can take you to some interesting places creatively.
that it can.
So, yeah.
And that's all I got.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's all from Loudwire. That's all I have.
Damn.
All right.
I broke Hip Hop DX by dropping my phone on a deck.
All right.
So,
I'll go up there. So,
Funny how that works.
bro, turntables destroy everything.
and but for the 23rd, we've got Alan Vega is dropping Mutator. Art Diego is dropping in standard definition. Dinosaur Jr. is dropping Sweep It Into Space. Eric Church is dropping Soul. Got Field Music dropping Flat White Moon. Lawrence Ann is dropping Musavision. Luminous Kid is dropping At the End of the Dream. Got Porter Robinson dropping Nurture. I believe Roizen Murphy is dropping Crooked Machine. I'm unsure about the name.
Okay.
Silverware is dropping No Plans. Todd Snyder is dropping First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder.
That's the title.
It is. And finally, we've got Tom Jones with Surrounded by Time.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
So,
What you got, Ed?
This is what's slated for the 23rd, according to Hip Hop DX. FMBDZ is dropping Warzone.
That's a game mode.
Is it now? Anyway. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway. Moneybag Yo is dropping A Gangster's Pain. Mike Towers is dropping Like Mike. Vinny Paws is dropping Burn Everything That Bears Your Name. I won't be listening to that because I have very important things that have my name on it that I don't want burnt. And Chevy Woods is dropping Mask On.
Okay.
okay.
So, yeah. That's what's slated for the 23rd.
But well, I guess that's gonna wrap up the show then.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So this concludes episode 40 of the Music Shack podcast.
Yes, it does.
give us a follow on Twitter if you haven't already. If you're new and like the show, or enjoyed this episode at least, highly recommend going back and listening to our previous ones. And again, dropping that follow or hitting subscribe on YouTube, which is where this is mainly at. But we are on all major listening platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and whatever Google uses. I still don't know what that is. But, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yep. And as always, player, one love, mosh and rave responsibly, so that you don't, and by responsibly means don't have a hangover.
It's a mental note for Ed.
Yeah. But, yeah. Till next week, stay safe and enjoy the noise. Should we end this on a quote from Inspirebot?
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Alright.
Not a random one.
Yeah, not a random one.
Why? I mean, the random ones are the best.
Yes, but that can either ruin this or let us continue.
Alright, be that way. Don't behave like a war criminal. Alright.
Okay.
What did it say? What it really was?